Damn.
Good morning, good afternoon, good afternoon.
Here we go.
Good afternoon.
Here we go. Live from Dallas.
Live from Dallas. You weren't wrong. It's morning here in Dallas.
Oh, let's turn the music down here a little bit. Let's get down to it now. Live from Dallas, we have the Magic Man, Marlon Wright.
You got it, Marlon Wright, man. Mr. Magic here from Dallas, Texas. Down here representing.
Representing who? I thought you were a Boston man.
That's what I'm saying. I'm representing Boston. I'm not like you trying to go down the middle, trying to wait and see who won game one.
That train track don't work too well. It gives you splits when they turn.
I don't know what he's talking about, ladies and
I
gentlemen.
know what he's talking about.
Can we keep a secret here?
It wasn't a secret.
Can't keep a secret on the air, I guess, right? I guess we're out front. We're just out there. So here it is.
Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, I am Eric James. That is.
I am Clay Morris, and that is
Mr. Magic Marlon. I don't even know where that magic came from. One day Clay said, "Hey, that's magic," and magic stuck. I gotta get used to it.
It just stuck.
I gotta get used to it.
I think you bring magic, man. I remember telling Eric that. I said, I don't know what it is about this guy. It's like that Ray Charles thing, when the guys are talking about Ray Charles. I don't know what it is about him, but I said, I don't know what it is about this guy, but he brings some magic.
All right, we're gonna start with prayer before we get too far in, fellas. Lord, we thank you for this day, Father. We thank you for life, health, and strength. We thank you for Marlon's safe travels to Dallas, Father, that you will keep him safe while he's there, Father, enjoying the time as we continue this series, Father. We thank you for our listeners. We thank you for our callers, Father, that you continue to bless the show, WEZE, Amazing Grace Sports Network, as we trailblaze this mission forward in a positive way. In your holy name, amen.
Amen.
Amen. Amen. So,
all right.
Go ahead.
I didn't hear you. What'd you say?
No, I was just saying that as we stated earlier, you know me, I'm always on the fly. I've been in a car driving. I've been in Atlanta. I've been in Boston. I've been all over the place. I'm that guy that's just not stationary. You guys remind me of it too. I need to get my life together, man. I'm all over the place.
I've been everywhere, man. I've been everywhere.
Yeah. So what we got, man? What we opening up with?
We're gonna bring up the Celtics, right? We started off with the Celtics. The Celtics are up 2-0. 2-0. That means there is nothing that the Mavericks could have done. Even on bad shooting nights, the Mavericks can't do anything. The Mavericks are just getting slapped, jacked, and cracked like a lobster claw. What's that echo there? We hear some echo in the background.
It's probably on your technical end because I don't hear an echo at all. Eric, you hear echo?
I do. It's when you talk.
I'm not sure what that's about. Maybe I'll just take the earpiece out and do it that way.
No, put the earpiece in, man. I mean, you know what? Do you have the earpiece and your speaker on?
No, only one.
I'll just turn mine down. Maybe it's me. Is that any better, guys?
I don't hear an echo at all.
Is that any better?
No, I still hear echo on you, Clay.
Still hear echo?
You got those
all right, well, let's just continue. You guys keep going on, and I'll see what I can diagnose here.
All right. So the Celtics.
You don't hear an echo when I talk, do you?
No, I don't know. It was when Clay was talking.
Okay.
All right, so Celtics 2-0. We lose Porzingis.
Yes.
Not a good deal.
Well, I think we went into it knowing there was a possibility that even if he came back, we weren't going to see him all the way through. But we still wonder whether or not he'll come back.
Well, I mean, he definitely put that spark that we needed in there. And I think the guys are totally in a motion of winning right now. And with or without him, I think they'll still do fine because Al truly picked up his reign and he's doing his part. The motivation is there. So I don't think we're going to really struggle without him. We may not score as quickly without him, But I think they'll connect the dots. That's my opinion.
Clay, what you got?
What have I got?
He's still
Can you
trying.
guys hear me?
Yeah, we hear you.
Okay, yeah. Now the echo's not on my part because I went to headphones here, so it's going from one of you two guys. So
Wow.
I will take. Let me see what I can do here with this. Now, Porzingis, KP, not KJ, KP, my man KP. You know what? Sit this game out, KP, just so we can make it look like a contest. Because right now the Mavericks are overmatched with KP in there. So if we sit KP out and the Celtics still win, I don't know what they're going to say after that. They won't be able to blame it on the fact that they're overmatched with Porzingis in there, because Porzingis will sit out the game. We'll have Al Horford in there and Nehemiah Queta and Luke Cornett, and we will still beat the Mavericks. I don't know what they're going to say after that.
Is Cornette back?
Yep.
Yeah.
Okay, so if he's back, then we probably will improve our rotation, because I think behind Porzingis, if Cornette wasn't there, they had to bring Al back in. So
Right.
if they got a 3-man rotation up front, man, he may not give us the offensive, boost that we get from having Porzingis in there. But as long as we got a body in there that can potentially stop that lob, or stop those little crazy layups that Kyrie may get if he doesn't have to throw over a 7-foot+ guy, that'll change the game. But if we got a rotation, I think if we beat Dallas tonight without Porzingis, Dallas is done. They're cooked, because we will have taken their soul. They'll say, what can we do? And everybody in the locker room will already know there's nothing we can do.
Well,
they can't do anything.
I don't think they're going to have a problem at the boards, because everybody's crashing the boards now. Everybody's crashing the boards. So as long as Derek and Jaylen Brown and them are crashing the boards like they've been, I mean, go for the most blocks you can get. Why don't we do that, Celtics? Let's go for the most blocks we can get, and there'll never be a question of them alley hoops coming in.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's that?
He's saying it. Go ahead.
Okay. He's frozen in time again. What's going on here? Technical difficulties is what's going on.
It looks like I'm pretty good.
He's not frozen.
Yeah, you guys didn't freeze on my end. But nevertheless, what I think the biggest thing that Dallas hasn't really adjusted to yet is that, like Eric said, we're not only crashing the boards on defense, but offensively, we're putting their front court under a lot of pressure. They're attacking and attacking and attacking, and these guys are not adjusting well, and they're getting into foul trouble, which messes up their rotation. And once that rotation is broken, the Celtics, man, they just continue. Even if Tatum has been missing his shots, he continues to press. And whether he's making them or not has not really been the difference. The difference is they've been put on their heels on both ends of the floor.
Oh, you mean as far as playing defense? Well, hold on a second. We got something to address that. Take a look at this.
Lost. Blow by. Another blow by. Who is he guarding here, pointing to phantoms? Blow by. Blow by. Blow by. Gets lost. Kyrie has to push him. Blow by. Lost. Whoop. 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 Blow by again. What's he doing? What is he doing? Whoop. Woo. Mm-mm-mm.
I don't know how long that was, but we got the point.
Yeah. Luka doesn't play any defense.
But he can't. it's not that he doesn't. He can't. He's not physically equipped to hang with anybody on the Celtics. If they can take Luka all day long off the dribble all day long. So, and then what they're doing is that because that first line is breaking down, they're putting a lot of pressure on Gabbert, Lively, and PJ back there. They you can't withstand that barrage of offensive attacks for so long. By the fourth quarter, it's a wrap, bro.
And the key is they just turned to driving to the hoop. What we've been saying all doggone season long. Stop just depending on threes. Threes are nice, but if you can drive to the hoop and you keep them off balance that way, you're not just coming down and trying to pull up before anybody even gets down there to get a rebound. But with the speed that Tatum and Brown is showing, man, and a few of those clips, Porzingis wasn't even in it. So he had nothing to do with what we're really doing here other than adding to it, with his shooting and his blocking.
Right.
We'll be good.
Porzingis wasn't even in the clips. It's Luka Doncic supposedly guarding somebody.
You get him, move.
He's doing a LeBron James, ladies and gentlemen.
Hey, listen, I just heard Clay give a little dig that he didn't even know he gave.
What was that?
You called him Luka Doncic.
Isn't it Doncic? Yes, Doncic.
I don't know, but you call him a chick because he plays defense like a chick, right?
No, I think the WNBA would be a little bit upset at that. I think they scratch and gouge. We're gonna get to that later, but Luka Doncic.
Yeah,
they scratch, gouge, and all kinds of just cheap shot people. But anyway, Luka Doncic don't play any defense. I mean, we know this, but me and Eric, we covered the Doncic and Kyrie Irving show last year, and we said the same thing last year. What got him over the hump this year, I think, are the lobs and Derek Lively and Gafford. They got Gafford, two big guys who were giving them some sort of defense in there, and they got PJ Washington who plays some defense. So I think it got him over the hump this year. But we're still looking at Doncic and Irving playing defense. And the Celtics are picking on them.
Yeah, but what's amazing is that, and had they done this 2 years ago against Golden State, they would have it. They would be playing for 19. Is that they're not only just not settling for the three. The thing is, you have to learn how to, if the three is not going, and even if you're missing your twos, you have to learn how to get to the foul line. What you got to do is continue to score. What you can't do is get blown out by 14, 15 unanswered points, and then you call a timeout, and then you get hit with 10 more, and you're down 25. That's exactly what was going on. So now they're figuring out, okay, the threes aren't working. Let's continue to apply some type of pressure, and so we can score on you, get threes, twos, or ones. Either way, we're going to continue to score. So we're constantly building on that lead.
And we're faster than you, so we can get past you. So they set maybe one pick, a turn, a dab, and we're in.
Blow by.
See you later.
Another blow by.
And here's another thing. As badly as they shot on the 3-point line, everybody says, well, they shot poorly. Those were wide open shots, man. This game could have easily been a 30-point win. Easily.
And it should have been. And does anybody have an explanation or explanations for why Jason Tatum looks so bad?
I don't think he's totally looking bad. He's not producing a lot of offense right now. We knocked Magic off his feet. he's still playing defense. He's still moving the ball. He's just not producing a lot of offense. And who knows? We said earlier in the season that he was a little hurt. We don't know.
Yeah, his back. Back thing. He had a back thing. Yeah. How soon we forget?
So as long as he's
he took a bad fall.
Yeah, that bad fall really kind of triggered him. He hasn't scored that high since then.
Yeah.
But he's he's showing me so much maturity because he's literally morphed into what you would call an all-around ball player. Now, he doesn't get any credit for it, but a guy who is obviously the face of not only the Celtics, but one of the faces of the league, to take the role that he's taken and embraced it, because he knows he's the face. He comments on it all the time. He's not a humble guy. He speaks on it. He knows his role. But when he gets on that court, he does whatever is necessary in that game or in that moment. So he needs credit for that.
And that's a good thing, because I mean, you think about for me, when I think of a humble guard, I think of Magic Johnson. He never had to score a whole lot.
Humble?
What I'm saying is he never went to score forever. He wasn't trying to score. He might get 15 points. He might get 12
but
points.
Magic was not humble. Magic was he had let's just say he had confidence. I'm just going to put it that way.
Okay,
Magic
he was confident. Okay, but what I'm saying is, as a guard, you distribute the ball. You know, when you're humble enough to just distribute the ball, and you don't always have to get your shot. When it's there, you take it. Like Jaylen Brown said, they disrespected me, didn't guard me on the 3-point line, so I took it.
But you guys don't know this, but Magic couldn't shoot that well. That's why he was always taking the ball inside.
He had that one-hander, man. He had the one-hander.
Yeah, when he was within 10 to 12 feet. Anything further than that, Magic was not shooting the ball. I mean, 5 or 6 years, 7 years into the league, he had his two-hand set shot. He had his two-hand set shot that he could shoot from 20 to 25 feet. But Magic came in the league. He couldn't shoot.
He shot worse than Rondo?
No, Magic could actually hit a free throw. I mean, Magic was pretty good at the free throw. He had some situations that it didn't work out to him for well, but he worked on it. Unlike Rondo, he became a very proficient foul shooter. Very, very good. Yeah. Magic was a dead-eye foul shooter by his 5th or 6th year in the league. So he really picked up his game. He came into the league being a guy who, he had to be close to the basket. Layups, dunks, something like that was what he scored on. And then Magic became a pretty good offensive threat later on, but he was not humble. Magic was not humble.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, I used humble in the wrong aspect. So Clay clarified that. Thank you, sir.
No, I'm sorry. And you know what? We forgot to do the birthdays today, so I'm going to wait till later to do them. Yeah, since we can get the Celtics out the way now. Anybody see anything different that's going to happen with Kyrie? Anybody see anything different that's going to happen with Kyrie? Is Kyrie going to bounce back? Is everyone's claiming now that he's in Dallas, Big D?
Y'all know how I feel.
They might win a game. Go ahead, Mal.
You know how I felt. I felt like everybody was just going for the jingling of the keys, and everybody was all excited about what was going to happen. Like they didn't see the first 2 or maybe 3 series. I'm like, come on, man. Kyrie is going to be Kyrie. Anybody who's sitting here believing that Kyrie is going to turn into this whole new guy, I just didn't see it. I think, as far as his abilities on the court, is no less, no more. As far as his level of maturity, no less, no more. I just don't think that right now there's anything pressing him to have to make a decision, right? Like whether or not to take a shot or whether or not you got to retract something you may have inadvertently said on one of your, I don't know. There's just nothing right now forcing him to take a position. He's still Kyrie, and that's not a bad thing. I'm not knocking Kyrie, but no, am I falling for this whole new idea of a brand new Kyrie?
I fell for it.
He's the same guy. He's the same guy.
I fell for it.
Were we talking a new Kyrie as far as his interviews, or a new Kyrie as far as on the court?
Hasn't changed one bit.
I fell for the interviews, and I also fell for on the court too, because we have seen this Kyrie version in Boston going into trying to take the ball inside on people and getting it slapped back into the half court line, or getting it smacked around and falling down and looking at the refs when he just should have passed the ball to somebody who was wide open 10 or 15 feet away. I fell for the new Kyrie, hook, line, and sinker. I guess you can call me a big mouth bass. Yeah, that was me.
That was Jaylen Brown last year, though.
Yeah, but he's not this year. But I thought Kyrie had changed too.
Well, the right ones changed. The right ones did change. Jaylen Brown and Tatum changed. So we're doing all right.
We're doing all right.
I don't want to be on record as saying that Kyrie sucks or Kyrie's less than or Kyrie's this. Kyrie is dynamic, but I don't think it was everybody had elevated him to being this new person and all of a sudden taking control of his own destiny at this point, where before he was finding ways to crash his legacy. But I don't think it's anything different. I think he's the same Kyrie.
Kyrie.
Luka has been a really good, match to help him get to where he is. But hey, listen, the Celtics, they're not going to lose this. 18. We can just start hanging 18. Just hang it real slow, like day by day, go up a little further because it's coming.
So as we say this, are they going to win game? Who's going to win game 3? I think from what I hear, Dallas is favored by a point or two because they're playing at home.
So if we're going to go down and pick, everybody's safely going to say. I'm sorry, what you said?
I'm just thinking who it's just in my mind. Kyrie's the same. Luka's hurt and doesn't play defense. I don't see PJ Washington coming up to he's not going to become the next, Dr. J out there, leading them to the finals or Magic Irvin Johnson. Gee whiz. Daniel Gafford. Wow. What did they got left?
I think their last hard push is going to be tonight. Their last hard push should be tonight, and when they don't succeed, I think it's going to be lights out after that.
Wow.
So I'm just going to go ahead and just take the lead. If you're going to ask me who's going to win, I'm saying Celtics are going to win. But safely we want to say that if Dallas is going to get one, it should be this one. So safely we're going to all say that Dallas will probably win tonight, but the Celtics are going to win the series. That's a safe way of going. So I'm not going to take that route. I'm saying that Dallas loses tonight. They get their heart taken and any hopes of winning snatched away from them tonight, and they might get game 5.
That's what I'm thinking. I think they might get game 4. I think this is a Luka Doncic, caption right here. The Ball Hog Show from Luka Doncic. Know your game, Luka. Looks a little bit like Luka too. I'm going to tell you, Luka looks a little bit like that.
Kind of the same build, huh?
Yeah, same build.
Y'all are wrong.
Right
wrong
there.
For that. You're wrong for that.
Right there. There's Luka. He's standing up though. He's got the ball in his hand, or hoof, as we say.
But you know what?
I think they got. I think the Mavericks might get game 4. I don't think they're going to get game 3 tonight. I think the Celtics are still on the roll, and if they try to go at the Celtics tonight, the Celtics will still feel themselves and might still take it to them. But I think they can lull the Celtics to sleep. If the Celtics win game 3 and then come near to win game 4, they're going to be off their game.
Yeah, what you got, Eric?
Man, I'm going with the Celtics. I think Porzingis put that spark in them. I think Derek White is doing his thing. I think what's my man's name?
Drew Holiday.
Drew Holiday's unstoppable right now. And I think Cornette's gonna fall right in place when he relieves Horford. You're gonna end up starting Horford and bring Cornette in and relieve him. And as long as they continue to battle on them boards, man, everything's good because Dallas ain't got nothing else, man. If they can't throw some alley oops,
if they can't throw any alley oops,
ain't nothing going on. That's the only way they break it up. So
they're done. Why didn't anybody, get a little bit upset about Dallas not playing okay, they would say Luka had assists. They were alley oops. They weren't regular assists where people worked to get them. Just Luka, hedge hogging his way to the hoop, slowly bumping and and pushing and moving around and gyrating. And finally, the big man's guy comes up to him and he throws the ball up in the air so Gaffey or Lively can get an alley-oop. That's not real. That was inflated stats.
Now, what I will say in game 2, you did see that pass that he fired back at the 3-point line. He drove down to the baseline, and he fired that on point pass to I don't even know his name, but the guy was waiting on the 3-point line. I mean, he fired literally. On like it was perfect, like a pitch to, like a throw to home plate from from the shortstop on the damn guard. It was perfect, man. So he did that once. It wasn't ongoing, but he did it once.
But you can't take away from his passing ability. He's a good passer. He is a good passer. But again, as long as we're crashing them boards, they ain't giving all that open space for folk to run in and get them alley hoops. Ain't nothing happening.
Guys, how can he be a great passer if you take away the alley oops? He's not a great passer.
Well, he still passes the ball well. You got to remember, he was 1 for 6 in assist attempts. The Dallas Mavericks just missed all the shots after he passed it. It's not his fault. You only can
maybe he had to get better passes.
They need you in there, Clay. They need you in there, man.
Well, you can't pass and shoot. If you shoot, then it eliminates the assist. And he shoots a lot.
He shoots a lot.
But he has to.
I mean, who else going to shoot?
Who else is going to? I mean,
it's only him and Kyrie shooting.
I think we all already know that they do not have a lot of firepower. If Kyrie's not in there, there's not a lot of people that scare you offensively on Dallas. So that's why he's going to shoot.
I don't think he has to shoot all that time that he does. I think he's a ball hog, period. And I'm not going to get off that. Okay, it's the ball hog show when Kyrie's out there. Kyrie's been a ball hog all of his life. Nobody has ever reeled him in so he could play team ball, set some picks for people, rub screens, backdoors, whatever the case, be a team player. He is not that, and it's his fault. He is the problem. That's with me. Other people may see it differently, but I've been calling him a ball hog for the last 3 or 4 years.
Well, are we talking about Kyrie or are we talking about Luka?
Luka. Did I say Kyrie? I meant Luka.
I was going to say, how's Kyrie a ball hug when he don't ever get the ball?
It's Luka. See, it looks like Luka. Sorry for getting your name in my mouth, Kyrie. You're not a ball hog. The ball sticks to you, but you're not a ball hog. It's 12:30. We're going to have to move on to Mr. LeBron James. And actually, it is about LeBron, but without being about LeBron. The Lakers show. The Lake Show with Danny Hurley. What happened?
He didn't take it, and that's all we got to say about that. Moving right along.
What? I mean, let's get to it.
All right, we'll pat him on the back, Marlon. We'll pat him on the back, Marlon. He went through the process, and he knew all the time he wasn't going to take the job, but he had to go through the process just to show that he had, I don't know what to say, but he went through the process. I said no.
Wait a minute, and if you didn't hear him that time, maybe this time.
Hey, Eric, one thing we can admit is a broken clock is right twice a day.
There you go.
Are you trying to say that I was right because I'm a broken clock and you were wrong? Well, that means a broken clock is still wrong. What is it? 22 times a day. How's that?
Oh, God.
That's right.
You got this one, man. That's why you're going to get your certificate in $2 increments.
Yeah. Ladies and gentlemen, we bet illegal seafoods dinner, me and Mr. Magic, Marlon Wright, and he lost. And so he has to, supply me with a certificate of, appreciation, which is, monetary value. So I can go out and eat. And while I'm eating and crack
guy. Oh, now you freezing, Clay.
Am I freezing? I'm sorry. You know, I'm gonna have to change my Wi-Fi. T-Mobile is messing up on me here.
Yeah.
AI is something else, isn't it? Is that really Clay?
Facsimile of.
Hey, but for the big picture, Hurley went to LA probably to see who's running that team, and he realized that LeBron was in the room when they was, interviewing him, and he was like, "Yo, isn't he a player?" he said, "Isn't he a player? Why is he in the room interviewing me for coaching position? Like, who's really in charge here?"
Yeah, why is he even in here?
You know, not only was he in there, Rich Paul was in there. You know,
God, Anthony Davis
probably had Bronny in there.
Bronny was in there too because he's the new.
Bronny was in there too. They're all sitting
there.
They
probably had so many criterias to get in that job that he was like, "Man, I can't be a part of this, right?"
They're all sitting there taking
y'all better leave me alone, man. Y'all better leave me alone.
Yeah, he saw the mess. He saw the mess that the organization is right now. I don't know Jeannie Buss. Everybody says she's a great woman, but I mean, it's been a mess since she's been in charge.
Right, it has been. She's in over her head. She's in way over her head. She doesn't know what she's doing, left or right. She thinks it's all a game. She doesn't know business, and she obviously doesn't know about personnel.
Who?
Jeannie Buss.
Oh.
Well, I think she probably accepts her role, and she's deferred to the people that she's put in place. The problem is the people she's put in place haven't been that great in supporting whatever, responsibilities she's delegated. It's just been a mess since she's been there. I don't know if it's all her fault, but
it's definitely her fault.
It's a doggone show out there.
And it's a freak show out there. I mean, Davon Ham, Frank Vogel, who was that before him? Luke Walton. But that's even before LeBron came. I don't think that anybody's been there longer than 3 years since Phil Jackson, from what I understand.
Right. So,
right.
I mean, Magic shot his way out of the front office, which is crazy. I mean, he's a storied, like staple in that organization, and he shot his way out the front door. I'm like, whoa.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I don't know. Well, Jeannie, you're gonna have to clean some rooms and some houses in order to even turn this franchise around, because obviously it's not working.
Jeannie has got her hair dryer and her lip gloss and her eyelashes and her fingernails. Jeannie's worried about Jeannie. I mean, somebody wants to worry about the Lakers. They might have to step up because Jeannie ain't got nothing to do with that. She's laughing, she's smiling, she's charming. She's out there with her. Everything's just done right. As far as the Lakers, they are a mess. They are a mess.
Here's what I would say as being the layperson or completely on the outside and have probably no right to even speak on what they should or shouldn't do, not knowing any of the inside stuff. But from this layperson, like the fan that I am and most of us are, I was saying that if they wanted if they got him, what they should have immediately done was started looking for trade options for not only LeBron, but Anthony Davis. Because even if LeBron's gone next year, Anthony Davis got 3-4 more productive years. Why don't you try to rebuild? These guys can go somewhere else and they can help another organization probably win a championship. They're still that good. LeBron and AD are still both good enough to help the team. So they probably should have gone someplace where they could have been that piece, and everybody would have been happy. The Lakers might not have been any, relevant for about 4 or 5 years, but that's how these teams come up. Oklahoma City, they're building through their. Look at the Memphis Grizzlies. They're building through their draft. Minnesota, they're building through their draft. Well, they got some free agents, but these teams are being built. They're just not going out getting these big names like the Lakers like to do.
Hey, well, they sent Porzingis out the pasture, and we pulled him back, and look how he plays. So sometimes you have to make that hard decision in order for these players to get their mind right. Like, yo, I only got a few more years left. I need to go and get what I'm going to get before my time is up. And they're not going to do it when they're in a comfortable situation like LA, where everybody's bowing to your feet like you're just the greatest. And you're not the greatest because you're not winning nothing.
You're not winning nothing. I was going to push back on you, Marlon, about them being able to trade. I mean, it's a viable trade, not trade. I mean, you can trade anybody, you can dump them, but if people would want LeBron in AD, I can understand them wanting AD. I can't understand them wanting LeBron. But just when I was about to say that, I do remember that the Celtics were able to trade Kevin Garnett and Paul Pierce for a pretty good, situation, which ended up getting them Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown, and maybe some other picks too. But unbelievable. Here's my pushback. What team do you think those two could go to where they would win a championship? I'll just leave it. How about that one?
Well, you got Charlotte. You got the Charlotte Hornets. Very young.
Hornets?
Yeah.
The Lakers can't win with LeBron and AD. I know Charlotte ain't, but keep going. There's 29 more teams left. Let's keep going down the list here.
What, Marlon? What?
This is a sports show, not a comedy show.
Just want to know.
No. Listen, in all honesty, in all seriousness, right? I think LeBron would be good if the New York Knicks traded Randall for LeBron. I think that'd be a really good fit because he doesn't have to play the defense. The rest of the team is a solid defensive four. He doesn't have to play the defense that he has to play if he's on with the Lakers. The Lakers need his defense, and we already know he's not a defensive pariah. So I think he brings the energy or that spark, whatever. I think the Knicks will be a little bit more formidable if they had LeBron instead of Julius Randle. It's just one. Now, Minnesota could use AD and if they got rid of
they could package Karl Anthony Towns and Rudy Gobert for AD. I do that one.
Yeah, I think Minnesota would be right there with them. That's just my opinion. That's just two. It's probably more, but that's just two off the top of my head.
I got to ask this question about New York. If you bring LeBron to New York, what do you think you're going to do with Jalen Brunson?
Well, Jalen Brunson doesn't have to really worry about it. I think LeBron, first of all, should not start on anybody's team right now. I think, and it's not because he's not good enough. I just think his role would be better coming off of. Look at what Luke Walton.
Listen,
Walton
I totally agree. I think all three of us agree. But the problem is, I don't think LeBron's going to agree.
But that's the humbling point, though. If LA get off their butts and say, we're going to make our team better, unfortunately, we got to cut ties with you, LeBron. We got to cut ties with you, Davis. That's going to be a humbling place for especially LeBron. Davis can probably take it. He probably wants out of there anyway.
Yeah.
But LeBron's not going to have that kind of control going into New York. So going into New York, he'd have to humble himself a little bit to even, be out there to do what he thinks he still can do.
Right.
And he don't need to handle the ball anyway. He don't need to be a point guard there. Be a strong forward and play your part.
Here's an even better scenario. LeBron should just walk across the hall and go over to the Clippers and let the Lakers go on, because I guarantee you LeBron can help the Clippers. He'll be one of the more healthier people on that daggone team because you can't depend on Kawhi or Paul George.
Paul George, yeah.
In an out of control.
James Harden wants the ball too. I mean, it's going to be. The thing is that you have to consider this is that LeBron wants the ball in his hands. Okay,
I think
so. Whoever you got on that team, you can't take him to Orlando because they got a young team, and they need their guys to get. You can't take him over to Minnesota because they got a young team. I mean, basically, you're going to take the ball out of Anthony Edwards' hands. Anytime you have a young star that needs the ball in their hands to start growing, you can't have LeBron on that team. LeBron's not going to mentor anybody. He wants the ball in his hands. He wants stats.
Well, see, here's the other piece that somebody watching is probably sitting here saying, LeBron, first of all, LeBron's going to go to a big market. He's not going to go to Orlando or New York under any circumstances. So if the craziest thing that we could use, that our imaginations will allow us to exercise, is if he left LA. Now we know he's not, but if he did, he's going to a big market. So that's why I say New York #1, but then
Yeah.
#2, he would stay in LA. Otherwise,
Yeah.
it doesn't make sense having that conversation because he's going to a big market.
He's going to a big market team.
Yeah. So those are the only two teams that realistically, and not only that, he controls his destiny. I think he's got no trade in there anyway.
Yeah, basically. I don't know. And who knows? Gosh, the Lakers are between a rock and a hard place. It is going on 12:40 something, and we have to move on to our main topic. Our main topic. Yes, our girl, Caitlin Clark, in the news again.
Yeah.
This time she was left off the WNBA the National Olympic team, so it's not even the WNBA. Now, before we get into this, I want to play you guys something and see what you guys think of this. Okay, hold on. Let's.
Why we didn't do a better job of promoting the WNBA? Because the numbers, the eyeballs, the interest, the sizzle, the headlines were not there. No one cared. The public didn't care. And so now you have somebody, that has the world caring, and you say to her, well, you know what? We want to make purely basketball decisions. It's the right thing to do, and we got to be worried about how other people are going to feel. But you're still complaining about the max salary being $250,000. You're still complaining about the absence of eyeballs. You're still complaining about the lack of headlines and notoriety and pub and cachet. You're complaining about all of these things. And the one person who has proven they can alleviate that concern, that could ultimately serve to benefit the better whole, now we want to sit up there and get all altruistic.
Hey, #1, I agree with him, but I think what it's not even that. It's that Clay put a Stephen A. clip up there.
Well, yeah, I found it. Yeah,
you know what?
Yeah, but yeah.
Stop, Eric. Can we put a waffle in the middle of the middle of two of us right now?
It's a waffle.
The waffle.
Man, look here. The sport will show for themselves. Now there are. What are you playing, Clay?
He's a picture of a waffle.
I'm not touching anything.
Now the sport dictates itself. You got lovers of baseball, lovers of hockey, lovers of NBA, and you still have a lovers of WNBA. However, they've never thrown the entrance that way. So can someone take that and make it the cutting edge of a difference? Especially now that Miss Caitlin's in there and things going on with her. So now it's in the news a little bit more. I don't know. What is it? Only 12 teams in the league? Six on the East, 6 on the West.
Nobody knows.
I looked it up.
Okay.
So who's going to take that plunge and start pushing that? Because right now it's on the ground level and people are starting to talk about it. It's starting to be a buzz. I'm about to dig in and see if I can get Caitlin over here to talk to us.
Well, dig in. Caitlin would love to come to talk to us.
She's on my bucket list now.
The WNBA does not understand business. Listen, hitting people over the head with something they don't want to see is not going to make them want to see it. And I hear this thing. Well, if they get promoted, they could promote it. They could promote it. Just like he said, there was no eyeballs. Nobody wanted to see it. You can't make people look at stuff they don't want to see. I can't get this idea. If nobody wants to see us, we're dead in the water. It doesn't matter how much we're promoted. If we don't have something that we're bringing that people like, they're not going to watch. And so hitting people over the head with something that they don't want to see is not going to make them want to watch. So you got a person that they want to see, okay? But these people are infuriated. The WNBA has lost money for the 20 years that it has been in existence. We know it's there. You guys know it's there. You've never been to a game. Not you, not me. Nobody we know has ever gone to a WNBA game. It's not that they can't. It's just that nobody thinks they want to waste 2 hours of their life going there. So they have a chance with Caitlin Clark, they should have jumped on it, because instead of, this anti-Caitlin Clark, which is a whole nother thing. Why is that? Instead of them marketing her on the Olympic team, as Stephen A. was saying, other people more deserving. You've won the last 7 Olympics of women's basketball. Surely you can find a spot for her somewhere coming off the bench. I mean, it's just, these guys do not know business, and I'm going to prove it to you. Listen to this.
So you're saying, so they did it for her well-being. That's what you're saying? They're looking at Caitlin Clark. They care about her well-being.
Stephen A., it's not
No,
for well-being. It's to put the best team out there.
That's literally not what I said.
They did it. The best team out there.
They did it because the reason. Sorry, yeah.
Go ahead, Sinead.
To me, they did it because people that fall in love with women's basketball fall in love for a different reason. They don't come to be entertained. They come to see the purity of the game. That has been consistent throughout the existence of the WNBA. Are we at a pivotal moment? Absolutely. But that moment is not a sprint. It is.
All right.
Yeah.
One thing I want to interject about them in the Olympics. Now, Indiana Fever is second to last in the standings.
Yeah, they suck.
They've won 3 games out of 13 games.
Yeah.
There's nobody better than nobody on that team. You know what I'm saying? There's nobody better than nobody on that team. So we're talking using your leverage of promotion, as far as they're concerned, to maybe get some push, and maybe, I mean, if Caitlin is as good as she seemed to be, she could really help this team. So shame on them for kicking her around like they are. You know what I'm saying? Because you see brand new cats come on teams all the time, and they end up doing some stuff that get them to move up in the standings. And a team that's that bad, they got no right to be bumping her around like that. That's just my opinion.
Well,
go ahead, Marlon. I just want to say one thing. Then you got the floor.
Yeah.
What you see there is the woman was going to say this. Yeah. Do we have some things we have to change? Yes, but it's a marathon, not a sprint. Listen, you've lost money for the past 20 years. Obviously, you do not understand business. This is some sort of welfare mentality where they think that somebody's supposed to subsidize them, because in the real world, nobody subsidizes you. And if you're not there trying to get a sprint going, trying to get some traction, trying to get it going, take whatever momentum you have and making something out of it, you're going to lose in business. Sorry, WNBA and ladies, you're not getting it. You're in here to make money. Without money, there is no salaries. I don't know, you're not getting this, but I'm off.
I get everything everybody's saying. I think this is one of those times where 2 things can be right at the same time, because the players who feel like they put in the work, the players that came along that were just as, I'll put it this way, they could have been marketed differently. They came along, they play in the sport, they're doing everything that they are asked to do or that they're available to do. They're doing it. So now Caitlin Clark is coming out of a place where they're saying, I could have done that if you gave me the opportunity. I could have been marketed if you gave me the opportunity. So I think 2 things can be right. And also, let me say this too. When you get down to a place where what sport is not being watched, do you guys ever watch track and field?
Yeah.
It's an amazing sport to watch, but they're not marketing it. I've seen ESPN and other networks. They're doing. Come on, man! You see the stuff they're doing. Pillow fighting is on one. I saw pillow fighting on one day. Absolutely insane. Track and field should be covered way more than it is, and they could probably be just as marketable as some of the other sports because their faces aren't covered, and some of those races are dynamic, but they don't cover track and field. So, because they don't, people aren't watching. So could it be that the WNBA can do better if they market better? We don't know. But now that they're starting to do this whole Caitlin Clark thing, and people are actually talking about it, like we're talking about it, and they're going into larger venues, and they're having charter flights now. So there's some evidence that if you put the effort in, there's a return. So we don't know. I mean, two things can be right.
Yeah, we do know. When's the last time you went to a track and field event?
Well, you have to be a track.
Yeah. Well, hold on. We show with our pockets. We show where we put our money, and we keep. I don't know. Let's try. Okay. Everybody, watch us. We're excited. We're excited. Okay. We got 3 old guys here who are giving you wisdom. That's our niche. Our niche is that we give you wisdom and experience as our background. We're different from everybody else, but that's what people come to see, what people will want to see. But when people don't want to see, when they're not paying money to see you and they're not turning you on, they are telling you that no, they don't want to see you. And you need to change your strategy. You need to change your strategy if you want to get those eyeballs. It's not going to be the marketing, it's what you're presenting to them.
Well, Clay, in some ways you're right, but in some ways you got to adjust. So as Marlon says,
adjust. You got to make money to adjust.
I get it. Oh, let me finish. Now, putting butts in them seats is the main objective, correct? You put more fans in the seats, we get more money coming in, right? So it seems as though they're looking for that through like a Caitlyn or through like different, dramas that's going to happen. So all of this drama stuff is a part of their promotion, That's all a part of it. Let's not act like it ain't. Because
I didn't know that
stuff happens, guess what? We talk about it. And somebody talks about it a little more, and somebody talks about it a little more. And whether it floats or sinks is going to be totally up to it and whatever its strategy is or becomes. And that's with just about anything. I mean, you could see a stock that's been plummeting forever. And all of a sudden, somebody started buying this stock. And what happens? All of a sudden, it shoots back up. You know?
I'm not going to compare stocks to the WNBA because you're going to lose all your money in the WNBA if you buy stock in it. When you sell things to somebody, you got to give them something what they want. And here's the problem, okay? You want to nail it? You guys want to go there? Let's go there, okay? Black people do not like to spend their money on sports, okay? That's why you see Black NBA players, but you're going to see the majority of people in the stands white. So we got one problem there, okay? The other problem is the sport. Who you're marketing it to. Men buy sports. You see those 2 women that was on that Stephen A panel? You know why they were there? Because they were good looking. Now, even though they're going across and they're looking at Stephen A and we're looking at Shannon Sharp, they didn't put any ugly looking women on there because you might just change that channel. But if they put 2 very good looking women, stop. I didn't even like Stephen A, but what made me stop? Well, there you go. So, who buy the sports. And you're going to have to appeal to the people who spend the money. And when you go after the only white player who's good in that sport, transitional, and you make it seem like you don't want her there, you're not marketing very well.
Yeah, well, those are the players that are having a problem. A lot of the players are having a problem.
Yes.
Now, let me just say this. I've gone to a Hawks game, and it looks totally different than going to a Celtics game. And I'm just telling you, demographics is different. Now, I've gone to Miami. It's a little bit more balanced. I think it's reflective of society itself, those numbers. But I agree with you. You got to pander to who's spending the money. But we all know corporate America spends all the money. They control everything. So those boxes that they make all that money on, man, it's not it's not a young Black male. It's not a female. It's a corporate white male. So I don't know. Again, I think a lot of things can be true here. Indiana stinks because Indiana didn't have any talent. It's got
they don't have any talent.
Right.
It has nothing to do with Caitlyn.
What's her name? Aaliyah Boston is her next best player on the team, and she was picked number 1 last year.
Wow.
or number 2. So I mean,
Wow.
a bad team gets the better player. So Indiana could be better in a couple of years.
Let me interject one more thing. One more thing before we leave
anybody
that
still want to watch him? Let's go.
Let me interject one more thing before we move on. So another thing with teams, as far as Red Sox, Celtics, Bruins, is season ticket holders. And season ticket holders have been bought many years ago by families who passed them on each generation. They've always had these season tickets, and those families really push to bring their kids to these games. And you see little white kids in them games all the time as a school night. Our parents would have been like, "Whoa, you ain't going to no game. You got school tomorrow." You know what I'm saying? So there's different ways of how all of that develops. So 20 years is time, but it's really not a long time, because the NBA been going many, many years before that. NFL, hockey, and those season tickets have plummeted. I mean, going forward all these years. So a lot of them have just been passed on, and some of them owned by corporate, and some are owned by families, but it's been an ongoing thing forever. So WNBA is still brand new. So if they don't ever figure it out, they'll just die like the USFL died. USFL was another one.
And that's my point. The USFL didn't have somebody subsidizing them. When a man's sport is not cutting the mustard, they're gone. That would have happened to the NFL. That would have happened to the NBA. That would have happened to the NHL. The WNBA has been subsidized. They haven't had to make a profit. So they actually think this is a marathon, not a sprint. No, you got to take advantage of the market while you got it, girls. It's there. Grab it. Run with it.
One last thing I'll say with this 1 minute we have left is that the WNBA, a lot of those teams are in very small markets. Even for a male pro basketball team, it would be hard for you to maintain. If the Indiana Pacers were a bad team for 10 straight years, that arena would be halfway empty. It's not in what you would call a strong sports market. You got the Connecticut Sun. What sport team? There's no pro team in Connecticut no more. There was a Hartford Whalers way back.
None.
The only pro team they have is a WNBA, so it's not a big market. You got the Phoenix Sun. You got, I think, another team out there in Golden State. I mean, very small markets sport-wise. The Atlanta Dream. The Atlanta's not what you would call a best sport market in any sport. So, I mean,
Atlanta's got millions of people. They just don't go to sports. They don't like to pay for sports.
Well, that's just not there. And listen, they would rather go to Magic City than
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Hey, they got good food there. They got good food there.
They got good wings.
Hey, real quick, guys. The 156 Belmont Stakes results are as follows. First place, Dornock won 1.2 million. Second place, Mind Frame, 360,000. Third place, Surya Leon, 200,000. Fourth place, Anna Marie, 100,000. Fifth place, Antiquarian, 60,000. Sixth place, Protective, 40,000. Seventh place, Seize the Gray, 20,000. And the final, eighth place, Mystic Dan, 20,000. I know we ran out of time, but I just wanted to throw that in there.
Didn't Mystic Dan, he won the Kentucky Derby, and didn't the other one that came in next to last win the Preakness?
Seize Gray, yeah.
Oh gosh.
And you know what's crazy? They'll be pulling carts in about another year down in downtown New York.
Down in Georgia.
You guys are mean. Ladies and gentlemen, we thank you. We thank you so much. Listen, subscribe, like, leave comments. Tell us what you think about our takes, even the controversial ones like mine, which can be kind of controversial. We want to hear. Listen. If you disagree, definitely leave a comment, and I will comment back on it to just keep it going.
I don't know if you want that, ladies and gentlemen, but okay. He's a GOAT. As a matter of fact, the GOAT is getting inducted into the Hall of Fame, the Patriots Hall of Fame tonight.
Yeah. Oh, I forgot to tell you guys, and this is the reason why I wanted to get the birthdays. Today's birthday is Drew Holiday.
Oh,
Drew
really?
Yes, it is. Today's his birthday.
All right, Drew.
Yeah, Drew was born June 12th, 1990. Yesterday was Joe Montana's birthday. So Joe Montana is in there somewhere. Happy birthday, Joe Montana. Here we go. And then you have Wade Boggs. Everyone remembers Wade Boggs. His birthday is tomorrow, I believe. And then we have Roberto Duran. He's somewhere in there.
Not Roberto Duran.
Yeah, Roberto Duran, June 16th.
Mas.
So
no
Mas.
No Mas.
No Mas. Don't hit me no more. There he is. Go. Let's get him in there. There he goes, Roberto Duran. No Mas. Ladies and gentlemen, it's been a pleasure. Go support your WNBA team, all you people that say you want to see the WNBA team. And that woman, Chini Ogawa, listen, lady, you said people come to see. There's always been a niche of people to come to see the WNBA. Do you realize the WNBA has lost money for the last 20 years? It's not enough people. You got to change your tactic if you want to get this thing done.
I promise I'm going to see an Atlanta Dream game very soon.
Okay.
I'm gonna go see somebody. I don't know who. Do they even come to Boston?
No. We're gonna have to go to Atlanta. We're gonna have to go to Atlanta to see. You know what? If we're gonna come to Atlanta and we're gonna go see the Atlanta WNBA team, and I want to see how many people are there in the stands. I'm gonna be with them. I want to take pictures with them.
There we go. That's what we're gonna do. We're gonna plan.
That's what we're gonna do. That's what we're gonna plan that. Okay.
Magic will put it together.
There you
go.
Put
it together, man.
All right, fellas, it's been real.
It's been real.
God bless you all. Appreciate you. So Saturday, we're going to go off air. Folks, you got a great day and we enjoy. We'll see you Saturday, 9 a.m. to 10 a.m. on WEZE. We will have
with Dana Barrows.
Dana Barrows hanging out with us. Come see us. Come listen to us. Come talk to us. Call in. Do your thing.
Do your thing.
You might even hear from LeBron James. You never know these things.
You might. He might call. You never know.
Yeah, LeBron made a prediction, so he's got to call in and report to his bosses.
Yo, there we go. Mr. James is going to be calling in.
Yeah,
My man.
My man.
All right, y'all. We'll see you Saturday.
Listen, guys. Yeah, we'll see you Saturday. Don't miss it. Be there.